Hello and welcome to week number 4 of the Injustice 2 Path to Pro recap, where each week we're going to take a look at the top 4 players of each tournament, analyse their gameplay, discuss their characters, and go over some of the more significant highlights. Week number 4 marked our first official broadcast for Path to Pro, and was the final week in the month of Power. Our top 4 would also feature the return of Vilma and Atrocitus, and Slynt once again. But this week, a new face would emerge in Inspector Chos, who played Atrocitus. Vilma and Atrocitus would clash in this week's top 4 semi-final, with a familiar matchup being Deadshot vs Superman. Both characters can compete with one another, with Superman having good normals and air movement to challenge Deadshot's defensive options. Game 1 was a slow and steady match throughout. The final moment saw Atrocitus landing a crucial air dash into forward 2-3, but ends the combo in Frost Breath, which gave Vilma the lifeline he needed. He would go full screen, and the rifle would seal game number 1. Game 2 was a lot more one-sided for Vilma. Atrocitus had great difficulty making the right decisions while advancing, and lost the second game convincingly. Game 3 is where things would switch up. Atrocitus would be the one to run away with a life lead instead, and with Superman's projectiles doing a lot more damage than Deadshot's, he was able to start winning the trades. An air laser would catch the rifle shot, and things would start to move forward. Game number 4 would also go to Atrocitus. He was able to eliminate the full screen threat and do great damage up close. At this stage, the pressure was on Vilma to close it out and try and get back on track for Game 5. History would repeat itself in the final game as Atrocitus gets another early life lead. Whilst Superman further increased his advantage at range, in the final moments, Atrocitus punishes Deadshot's back 1-2 with a takedown, and a dive bomb OTG finishes things off. A reverse 3-0 would send Atrocitus into Grand Finals. Slynt would have another shot at Grand Finals this week, but this time round his opponent would be Inspector Chos, a dangerous Atrocitus player who was fresh off a 3-2 clutch victory against Flet's Scarecrow earlier in the tournament. Even though Catwoman's low profiling looked like she may have some unique answers for Atrocitus pressure, it wasn't enough to take game number 1. Inspector was simply too strong on the offense, and with Dexter on deck, it was a tricky situation to escape. Game 2 was much of the same. Slynt would answer back again and again, but was not able to keep up with the sheer damage Atrocitus could output. However, in the final moments of the match, a clash occurred and Inspector spent all of his meter to leave Slynt with a pixel of health. From here, the blood drain was a guaranteed win, and Slynt sealed his own fate by jumping into it. The third game went much better for Slynt as he lays the pressure on thick and denies any momentum from Inspector Chos. The final game could have also gone to Slynt in the final moments, but unfortunately the potential comeback was snuffed fast by a whiffed down 2, and Atrocitus simply needed to land one more hit on block to close things out. Inspector Chos was the second grand finalist of the night. We have a run back in week number 4. Vilma would once again face off against Slynt for a third place playoff. We even saw Slynt return to Superman to get the rematch of week 3. Unfortunately for Slynt, history would repeat itself once again, and Vilma would dominantly control the entire match and walk away with another third place result. The same showdown of EU versus Russia would take place again in Grand Finals of the week. Inspector Chos and Atrocitus, Atrocitus versus Superman. Game number 1 was close to begin with, but in the final round, Atrocitus would land a hit in the corner. Superman being Superman meant that the follow-up combo and pressure afterwards was immense, yet remarkably, Inspector decided not to use Wager. Because of this, Atrocitus lands a freeze into unclashable damage, and it was too late to stop regardless. A major adaptation we saw in Game 2 was how Atrocitus' shield completely negates Superman's eye lasers mid-air. A usually dangerous keepaway tool is nullified by Atrocitus with Trait, and because of that, Inspector dominantly took Game 2, and it was Atrocitus' turn to adapt instead. A solution on the flip side of that was using Superman's dash punch to crush the shield, which Atrocitus used to take round number 1 of Game 3. He would fall back into old habits though, and another shield to crush eye lasers would put Atrocitus in the corner and force a ton of damage. From there, although the game was close, Dexter would have the last laugh and snatch Game 2 away from Atrocitus. A drop combo in the final game would be heavily punished by Inspector as he hits a swaggy Dexter combo in the final round. From this point on, Atrocitus seemed rather flustered and did a large amount of hasty wake-up attacks. Inspector would activate Trait, and from that point the win was guaranteed. Inspector Chos and his Atrocitus would obtain the 4th qualification spot. Now the month of power is over, anybody from the EU or Russian region can compete in the path to pro. Simply go to play.eslgaming.com/injustice to find out where you can get involved, and who knows, maybe we'll see you on the next broadcast. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.